Wednesday, April 28th, 2021, business meeting. We'd all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. We could have the reading of the mission and business, please.
Oh, I have a mission. Richmond Community Schools guides students on pathways of learning to a future of limitless possibilities.
Vision statement of Richmond Community Schools is a community nurturing mind, body, and spirit to prepare students for lives of choice, purpose, and service.
Thank you both. Public commentary.
The first one is Howard Price.
Good evening. I just have a few short comments on two topics. I won't take too much of your time. The first one is a lot I've been hearing on TV lately about equity. Equity in science, technology, mathematics. To me, it's more like dumbing down to the lowest common denominator. I don't think that should be a part of our school system. I think every child, and I mean every child, should have an opportunity to fulfill itself for whatever he can achieve or she can achieve. The second topic I have is about the 1619 project. You've probably heard about it. I don't think that our school system should be teaching that as history. Okay? The project is, if you look at it closely, I believe it's riddled with inaccuracies, and it's totally incomplete, one-sided, and it presents more of a political view or indoctrination than anything else. So that's the two topics I have. I thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kim?
Hello. I'm here today because last week the staff at Hiver, well, particularly during corporate discussion, we found out that we were losing our guidance counselor position at our school building. We had no prior notice. We were totally blindsided by this decision, and I had to call an emergency meeting, staff meeting after school, because a lot of staff members were very upset about this decision. And the first question we had as a staff is, why are we losing our guidance counselor when the district has been pushing social emotional learning, the curriculum, the program, talking about ACEs, especially that program building? We have 3 unique programs, 3 different populations. I happen to be fortunate to teach in 2 out of the 3 programs this year on both Logos and early college. Early college I have more experience with, so I can tell you with that particular population, as part of our selection for that program, we bring in kids who have a lot of ACEs. Yes, our goal is to push them, academic-wise, to make sure that they're going to be well-rounded students. But at the same time, we know that our students come with a lot of baggage, and we accept that going in, knowing that that student might need extra help after school, or are going through family situations. In early college, every year we experience a parent death. And so the guidance counselor has been very vital in helping us deal with that. Because as teachers, there's a line, that we can't cross because of training or certification. And so we depend on our guidance counselor to handle those situations where students are going through a loss or other trauma, situations, stuff that as teachers we're just not trained to do. And so again, the question becomes, why are we taking away a person who is certified to handle those situations properly? Yes, we finally got a CIS person in our building, but remember, they're not certified the same way as a guidance counselor is. So I would just like to know why that is being, I guess, as a decision as to why we should, lose our guidance counselor. I'm just lost for words as to finding out that decision last week and trying to, be there for my staff members who just feel like, again, Hibbert seems to, take hit after hit. So I really hope that the board will reconsider this decision. Guidance counselors should be in every building. I mean, obviously that's ideal world, but particularly in our building, we definitely need a guidance counselor. And I just hope that, like I said, that decision will be reversed. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank the public. On to item 3, consent items. Mrs. Brown.
All right, for consent tonight, we have 3.01, approval of the minutes, 3.02, human resources with the addendum there at your stations, 3.03, accounts payable, 3.04, monthly financial report, 3.05, transfers, and 3.06, grants.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. On to,
Excuse me. We had no motion.
oh, sorry.
I'll move to approve the consent items.
I'll second.
I was getting excited for the bond project, I'm sorry. So, thank you, Keith Morey, approves, second by Nicole Stoltz. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes officially 7-0. Thank you, Keith and Aaron. All right, now, we've gone to the bond. For the opening of the public hearing, I would like to suspend the meeting of the Board of School Trustees and declare the public hearing open. The purpose of this hearing is to offer the public an opportunity to comment and question and have answer questions regarding the bond projects. And I believe Mrs. Scouse will be handling the presentation.
Okay, good evening, everyone. All right, this is our second public hearing on our proposed 2021 bonds. We will kind of go through this a little bit more briefly than we did at the prior hearing, but we will still cover all of the details. So we will hold questions until the end, but we will open it up at that point. So the Board of School Trustees is proposing a bond to provide Richmond High School with some updates to the heating and air areas of the building. This system was originally installed in 1981. It's a 4-pipe system. Right now it's primarily natural gas, hot water. The chillers have various installation dates. The Career Center was installed between 1982 and 1984. The Tiernan Center and Civic Hall was installed in 1997. And the main building at RHS was installed in 2006. That is a 2-loop system. We're going to look at replacement of boilers and chillers, ductwork replaced as it's needed throughout the building, and also provide necessary updates which will make it possible to loop in those systems which now currently stand on their own throughout other parts of the building wherever it's possible. The total project for this, we are looking at project costs of about $6.3 million, just under that amount. And the bond issuance costs as well as contingencies and soft costs, we're looking at about 1.2. So a total package of 7.3 in actual costs with a maximum issuance of 7.5. So we'll move over to the financial side of this project. and this is something that we'll discuss as we have stakeholders here and for our public out listening to the broadcast. We are working with Stiefel Nicholas, and they have provided us with some financial data. Our current debt profile, we are looking at a debt service rate this year of 12.47 cents. And as we have planned our debt in the recent past, we have stair-stepped that so that we have what we call cliffs, which provide the board with some room to do projects as they are needed within shorter increments of time. So rather than taking an extended bond, we really do want to be pretty progressive and pretty intentional with this. We are looking at a 7-year repayment. Some notes that we have to cover is that for this type of bond, we're looking at a leasehold. And with that, we have to have a maximum threshold of 12 years showing, but we do look to repay that in 7. What this will do to the tax rate is this does add additional tax. We will see the debt service rate go down next year, but with this bond, it will go back up. And we are estimating that rate of being 17 cents once this is finished. So some legal parameters that we have to cover tonight as part of this bond. The maximum amount of the proposed project is $7.5 million, as we discussed. The estimated costs of issuance and the underwriter's discount look to be about $200,000. The estimated proceeds we expect for hard and soft costs on this project are $7.3 million. We look for a maximum lease payment of $1.9 million per year. The maximum final maturity date is January 15th of 2032, and the estimated interest expense is $1.221750 million. We estimate a tax rate impact of 13.05 cents, and the estimated net increase to the tax rate would be 4.59 cents. So just a couple of notes. Again, I do want to reiterate that the final maturity maximum on the bonds is 2032. However, the school board plans to repay the bonds in a 7-year repayment schedule. So we do plan on aggressively repaying this bond. Based upon the 2021 certified net assessed value of $1,456,301,993. This is what our current assessed value is on the Wayne County budget order. These numbers were on the tax rate were calculated based on that number, and then the anticipated net increase to the debt service fund account for the existing debt obligations, that's noting that they will mature. So how does this impact our taxpayers? You will see on this screen that we have the proposed $7.5 million bond issuance on a $100,000 home will be a $15.03 increase to the taxes. On $200,000, it looks to be more like a $44.87 increase, and you will see all of the different levels at that. The estimated monthly tax rate impact on a $100,000 home is $1.25. So, a couple of notes on these estimates. In the city of Richmond, which is the greater part of our tax base, we do have numerous circuit breaker tax cap credits. A number of our taxpayers may see no difference if they fall into a category in which they qualify for these tax cap credits. So while we do need to show the difference to the tax rate, it may not impact our taxpayers to the effect that we can see here. So we do need to make sure that we know that. In Indiana, the tax cap credits are for homeowners 1%, for rental properties 2%, and for commercial properties it's 3%. So that is, and then tillable ground is at 2% as well. So this is the proposed bonds that we look to issue later this year. We are excited about this project. We know that the educational need for it is strong, and at the high school, we need these updates to continue learning in an environment which is comfortable for our students, it's comfortable for our staff, and we can keep things moving in a positive direction for the school. So I will open it up to any questions from our public or from the board. We do have information sheets at the back table with Mrs. Hazelbaker. If you would like to grab one, they are there. We also have those available in the business office for any members of the public who would wish to have them.
I would just add for clarity, you used the term tax credits. and you did reference the rates for personal, farm, and commercial. But the tax credit, really what that means is the legislation put in place that you will pay no more than 1% in property tax, 2% if it's commercial, 3% if it's farmland. So the tax credit comes based on what your tax rate is. So if you're already fully taxed at 1% for a personal home, then you will see zero.
Right, impact.
You will see $0 increase in tax.
Tax rate for the corporate city of Richmond this year is $4.002. So all classes of property located within the city of Richmond basically should be experienced, should be
there.
Should be at or near there.
Yeah.
Again, it's based upon the gross assessed value, but the people that didn't have their deductions that come from that.
Yeah, people may not be used to, we live tax credit terms, but the residential, just for clarity is all I would want.
All right, I do want to thank the board and the administrative team at the high school that have done a lot of work and research, and the facilities working group, as well as our maintenance and facility directors for all the work that we've done on this. This is years in coming, and we are very excited about it. So we look forward to seeing this change coming soon. So anyone else have any questions? All right, Mr. President, I recommend that we close the hearing.
Thank you. I would ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion. Give it to Brad and I'll second.
Motion by Brad Walton, second by Jeff Schleifer. Any other questions or comments? Just like to thank everyone for the facilities group, the finance group. I mean, there's been a lot of hours put in to get us to this point. Nothing else? All those in favor of closing the public hearing, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Moving on to action items.
Great, for our items tonight, actually action items 5.01 through 5.06 deal primarily with bonds, a roof contract and donation, so we'll let Mrs. Scalf go ahead and go through all those.
Okay, and I am going to ask that Mr. Cross jump in anytime we need to cover items which I may have missed. The first agenda item is a project resolution recommendation. The resolution has been posted to board docs for your review. It is my recommendation tonight that we pass this project resolution as a part of the next steps for the 2021 bond issuance.
Mr. President, this resolution is brought about by the need to comply with what I think we talked about on the 14th as being the what used to be convening a Section 1028 hearing. It was the House bill that gave the requirement that in the interest of transparency, anytime a school corporation proposes to spend $1 million or more in the construction and or renovation of an existing building or a new building, then there has to be this public hearing to give the public a chance to understand the project, ask questions about it, understand the tax rate impact, all of which has been previously presented by Ms. Scalf in her presentation, but before the project becomes committed. And so that is the purpose of the project resolution.
I'll present the motion.
Motion by
I'll second.
Jeff Schleifer, second by Suzanne Derogowski. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Item 5.02 is the preliminary determination resolution. It is my recommendation that the Board of School Trustees approves the preliminary determination resolution as it has been presented. It is available on Board Docs for public review and is the next step in the 2021 bond issuance.
And again, this resolution is the culmination of the two hearings that you've had, one on the 14th, one tonight. Due to the fact that the amount of the bond issue proposed falls under certain legal parameters, it's necessary that you have two public hearings before you make a determination to proceed with the project and the mode of financing. So the resolution incorporates the data that is shown on the data sheet that is at the back of the room that you have, and then Ms. Scalf summarized, again, the tax rate impact, data regarding our assessed valuation, our long-term debt balances, as well as the overlapping debts and of our overlapping taxing units. And again, the terms of the bonds, the interest rate, what have you, these are set at maximums. They can, we can lower the term, we cannot extend the term. Obviously, the interest rates must fall within the 1% to 5% parameter, which we don't expect to be an issue. They can be less than 1%, but we'll take that if that happens, but I wouldn't hold my breath. So again, this is due to the nature of this being what's considered a controlled project with certain petition, remonstrance, potential rights that the public could exercise as more fully explained in the data sheet that is available.
Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion.
I'll present the motion.
Motion by Jeff Slifer,
Second.
second by Suzanne Darengowski. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, action item 5.03 is a resolution determining need for project recommendation. We have discussed the needs that we are expecting to cover in this project, and it's my recommendation tonight that the board approves the resolution determining the need for the projects as it has been presented. This document is also available on Board Docs for public review.
I had to laugh when I read this one.
Yeah, Mr. President, this resolution determining need has actually two components. The educational need for the project, as has been discussed by Ms. Scalf in her presentation, as well as the fact that the corporation does not have available to it immediately sufficient funds in its normal accounts to fund this project. Therefore, we're going to have to engage in the lease financing mechanism, which I think the board understands, and I think we've talked about it generally, but essentially a portion of Richmond High School will be surveyed, appraised, and deeded to a holding corporation that will own it and lease it back to Richmond Community Schools. The holding corporation will in fact issue bonds that will be made available to the school corporation to pay the lease payments and finance the construction of the project. So due to the nature of the financing, this is the resolution determining need is appropriate to be adopted at this time.
Thank you.
I present the motion.
And I second it.
Motion by Jeff Slifer, second by Suzanne Darengowski. Any questions or comments?
We've been at this the longest, so that's why.
All right. We appreciate the wise.
And now we get to approve the expenses that we
Exactly.
come out of the bonds.
There's the money. Then there's the money.
Any additional questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, action item 5.04 is the declaration of official intent to reimburse expenditures. It is the recommendation of the administration that the board approves the ability for us to reimburse any expenses that are directly a part of this 2021 bond project from bond proceeds. This is something that in the past we have done as we have issued bonds and is not a change to past practice. So tonight I recommend that the board board approves the declaration of official intent to reimburse expenditures as it's been presented. This document is also available on board docs for public review.
Again, Mr. President, the purpose of this resolution, I think, is in part to comport with what used to be legal requirements of the Internal Revenue Service that are now best practices, and that is to create, if you will, a line in the sand, a declaration at this point in time that expenses that might be incurred and paid prior to the receipt of the proceeds of the bonds will still be reimbursed to the corporation from those bond proceeds. That could be anything from, I know we're going to have to pay appraisers to appraise it for various soft costs that might be incurred, architectural fees, what have you. Whatever it would be directly related that would be incurred, we're declaring our intent to reimburse those expenses from whatever fund they might have come from initially at the time we receive those bond proceeds. Does not mean you have to reimburse them, but you're documenting your intent to reimburse them.
Thank you.
I present the motion.
Motion by Jeff Schleifer,
I'll second.
second by Suzanne Dernigowski. Any questions or comments? Mr. Maury, were you trying to motion or comment?
Yeah, just trying to
You're trying to get in?
motion in here.
Break up the monopoly.
Trying to get in.
Heavy
Right.
motioning, but
I think,
Guess
you
I'm
know,
not
John will do all
old
the
and or
signing after the meeting.
experienced enough.
yeah, you're a junior.
you get the paper.
Got
Yeah.
got moved over to the key.
I was here to be the table monitor.
All right.
You guys can have the veil. How about that?
Well, thank you all. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0.
Mr. President, as I just indicated to Member Stoltz, I will consume some of your time after the meeting. You will be doing the heavy lifting with the pen to sign all these documents.
Looking forward to it. Thanks.
Great.
Okay,
From
action
a good
item
pen.
5.05, we will move on beyond the bond project work, and we will have before you an agreement with Inslee Systems, Inc. for the Vale roof replacement. This bid was awarded on the April 14th, 2021 board meeting. This is the contract that goes along with that bid. Tonight, it's my recommendation that the Board of School Trustees approves the Vale roof replacement agreement with Inslee Systems, Inc. as it has been presented.
I move that we accept this roof contract.
Second.
Motion by Nicole Stoltz.
The younger ones are quicker.
I don't know, was that Stevens or Walton?
We'll give it to Walton.
All right. Second by Brad Walton. Any questions or comments?
Thank you very much.
Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Moving right along.
Okay, and on to our, what I might say is the biggest event of the night. We are thrilled to take a look at our donation list this week. We have some amazing contributions. Our scholarship program donations will start, this is probably the largest group, and then we may see some others come in just following this as the high school prepares for senior awards. But we have seen some tremendous donations this week. So we want to thank the George and Vicki Clinton for a donation to Vale Elementary for their Leader in Me program. This will continue the program on for another year. They made a $20,000 donation to that program. We'd like to thank Mr. Doug Borgesdorf for sponsoring the 8th grade early college program, as well as Reed Hospital Community Benefits and Mancino's. They all participated in some 8th grade programming in the early college area of Hibbert. We'd like to thank Meyer and Daniel and Constance Stamper for their donations toward Test Intermediate. They have sponsored some snacks and water for students during testing week, as well as some teacher appreciation support. We'd like to thank First English and Lutheran Church for their assistance to the Our Shelves program at Richmond High School. They've provided some freezers and shelving to that program. And if you haven't seen that program in action, it's pretty cool. They're out there passing out food to our community on a regular basis. We'd like to thank Barbara Hamilton, for donating to the Joe Spicer Scholarship. Paul Sadler donated a tremendous $150,000 toward the Wilma Jean Nutter Scholarship. The Leland Legacy, Cummins Electric, Holland Colors, Miles Richmond, Lowe's TLC Pets Hospital, Merchants Bank, Richmond Radiologists, Inc., Johns Manville, NATCO Credit Union, Beach Automotive Services, Inc., Harrington Polk Insurance, Contract Industrial Tooling, Dot Foods, Inc., and Cochran and Associates, as well as Meridian Health Services, all donated scholarship funds to our career education programs. Tarana Hill donated to the Tom Hill Scholarship Fund. Tina Hill also donated to the RHS wrestling team in honor of Tom Hill. John Hill and Dean Hill also made contributions to the wrestling team in honor of Tom Hill. And this family, you will probably see additional donations coming. They have provided some support in the future through the scholarship program that they are looking at, and that has been a very unexpected surprise for the athletic program and the students that are involved in it. Came in this week or last week and met with Mr. Cook, and it is going to be a great thing for our students. We'd like to thank Myrna Baldwin, Johns Manville, for donating to the RHS track team. VFW Post 1108, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Ferguson, Mr. and Mrs. Kyle Ingram, Primex, Pambar LLC, DB Plumbing, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Reynolds Chiropractic, Hoppy Jewelers, B&F Plastics, Harrington Hope Insurance, Dot Foods Inc., and Mr. and Mrs. Adam Jackson donated to the softball teams and the football teams. Vicki Johnson, Carl and Marjorie Sharp Endowment Fund, and the Wayne County Foundation also donated to the Civic Hall Proudly Presenting Series, which we will gladly get back up and running next year. So tonight, I recommend that the board approve $221,000, $520.47 in donations.
I want this one. I move that we accept these donations. This is extreme generosity, so I just thank you to the community. Anyone want to second that one?
Second.
That's
Motion by Nicole
amazing.
Stoltz, second by Aaron Stevens. I'm guessing there'll be some questions or comments, so we'd like to
Well, I
start.
kind of gave my comments.
What more can you say except wow?
Thank you very much. Amazing.
Well, and I think if you take a look of these donors, most of them are not first-time donors. Most of these repeatedly do some form of donation to our system. So it just goes to show you that the people out in the community, the business world especially, they do care. So, and it's much appreciated on our part.
I don't think in my time on the board I've ever seen a number so large.
But I also think, not to discount this any, but there's a lot of other people that donate that aren't here too as well. So, and they do it at the individual level, and their name's not there, but we also appreciate them.
Agreed.
And the individual contributions by the Hill family. It's just totally amazing. Tom was a loss to the community, but he also was on the wall in Civic Hall for participation, everything else, and that they would continue to let his legacy live on by making these contributions is totally amazing. So.
Yeah, I'll just add great gratitude and thanks. I don't know, this allows us to do a lot of things that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
Yes.
So, it's very appreciated. Any other questions or comments?
One more. To me, this says Richmond Pride, and
Thank you.
it's exciting to see, so.
Yeah, and when you look at the spread of where all these, I mean, these donations are going to athletics, to scholarships, to Civic Hall, like it's across the board, and it's really, really encouraging to see people from all over our community, supporting.
Well, it's an investment in what people believe in.
Yeah.
And so, be it Civic Hall, be it a sports program, be it scholarships, I mean, we're proving to be a good investment, so I think it's impressive.
You can't, people just step up to the plate in this community to support the needs of education all the time, across the board. Enough is not said about that, but that's one of the prides of this community, as you said.
All right, anything else? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. All right. Moving on. I would like to suspend the meeting of the Board of School Trustees and declare public hearing open. The purpose of this hearing is to offer the public an opportunity for comments and questions regarding the proposed superintendent contract. I would request a motion that the notice of public meeting on the superintendent's contract was published in the Palladium item on April 4. Is that right?
No.
April 18, Sunday.
Was it the 19th? 18th. Okay, that's all right.
And I would like to throw a special thank you to the Palladium item for getting that notice posted in timely fashion, but with very short notice, above and beyond the reasonable expectations that we might have had. But they did it, and they did it quite quickly and quite proficiently.
That was a big help to our efforts. And I do have an affidavit that is included with the minutes. With that, is there any comment from the public?
Yes, I can get up.
Yes. Could you just please state your name and where you live?
Yes, I'm Eileen Baker Wall, and I live right here in Richmond, Indiana, and I'm one of the former assistant principals of Richmond High School. So I came tonight because I wanted to congratulate the board on what I saw as a very, very lovely decision, a very bright decision that I feel that you've made. And I come to speak because I'm one of the former principals for Curtis Wright. And I had the pleasure of having the Wright children at the high school. And I just wanted to come and say for myself, and also as the representative for the NAACP here in Richmond, I am the education chairperson, and I wanted to let you know how much we appreciate your forward thinking and your willingness to consider Kurt Wright. I don't think you could have considered anybody better, having had him in high school. And my heart is just bursting with pride, Richmond pride, for our ability to recruit, your ability to recruit, and to confirm that he could be our next superintendent of schools. Just wanted to say, welcome to Kurt. Wish you were here now so I could hug him. But I won't be able to be here at the next meeting, but I certainly wanted to convey our appreciation from the NAACP and our president, Tommy Wims, who could not be here tonight, to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And we wish him all the best. We'll be letting him know that. And if there's anything we can do to be helpful in his tenure here, we certainly are very much appreciative that he's come back home to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other?
I wasn't going to speak, but now I want to. I am an Earlham alum, and I think that the Earlham alums can all say, like many people can, thanks for getting one of us. And the other Richmond Earlhamites that I talked to are very excited as well. Also, my sister is from Pike, and so I want to say, for sibling rivalry's sake, thank you, I'm winning. So I'm just very excited.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Thank you all. And would ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I move to close the public hearing on the superintendent's contract.
Motion to close the contract by Aaron Stevens, or close the public hearing by Aaron
Second.
Stevens. Second by Nicole Stoltz. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0 and the hearing is closed. Thank you very much. Moving on to policy review and update. We have two policies on second reading. Item 7.01, policy 4830, student fundraising, and then item 7.02, policy 4850, social events, second reading.
I'll make a motion that we take 701 and 702 and approve them.
Motion by Jeff Schleifer to group those together and approve.
Second.
Second by Aaron Stevens. Any questions or comments on those two policies? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving them, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Item 7.03, policy 7810, display of the Ten Commandments, first reading.
Mr. President, I move to forward 703, the display of the Ten Commandments, first reading, and 704, the bonding, first reading, to second reading.
Motion by Aaron Stevens, second by Brad Walton. Any questions or comments on those two policies? Seeing none, all those in favor of moving them forward to second reading and approval, please, moving them past, all those in favor? I don't know.
Moving them to
Moving to second reading.
Yeah, moving them to second reading, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. On to board reports and discussion. Do we have any board reports or discussion? Will you be handling our meetings?
Yep. I'm ready for the next one.
All right, so moving on to 9, review of upcoming meeting and events.
Okay, just a couple things that are coming up. On Friday, Early College will be hosting their 8th grade bridging ceremony at Civic Hall. The Richmond High School Early College will also be hosting their Decision Day ceremony for seniors on Friday as well. Next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. On Tuesday, May the 4th, a special treat will be delivered to all the buildings and to the bus garage. Also on May 4th will be the Celebration of Excellence that will take place at 3:15 at Civic Hall. At that time, we'll be announcing the Teacher of the Year, Administrator of the Year, Support Person of the Year, and Friend of Education. We will also be recognizing years of service and retirees. Next week, we're also going to be celebrating School Nurse Appreciation Day, and that's on May the 6th, and School Lunch Hero Day on May the 7th. The Richmond-Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce will be doing their senior attendance car giveaway next Thursday at Elster Plaza. Students are going to have, seniors will have an opportunity to win a car, scholarship, or other prizes. Also, next week, we'll have a special board meeting on Wednesday, May the 5th, and that'll be at 5:30 in Civic Hall to approve the contract of the new superintendent, followed by a meet and greet in the lobby. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting will be Wednesday, May the 12th at 5:30 p.m. in the boardroom.
Thank you. Just to follow up on the special board meeting next Wednesday and the meet and greet following, I would encourage all to attend. It is an exciting time for RCS, and we'd love to have the public, stakeholders, students, teachers, staff, administrators, anyone that'd like to attend. We'll have some refreshments, and I look forward to a wonderful event. Moving on to adjournment and bell ringer.
Okay. Tonight, we want to congratulate Tierney Stevenson. She's been accepted to the Indiana Principal Leadership Institute, and she will begin meeting with her cohort this summer. So congratulations to Tierney.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anything?
I wanted to say, it's evident of the excitement in the town right now with our decision on superintendent. Ms. Hazel Baker, what are we up to?
20,000.
Am I right in saying that in the history of social media with Richmond Community Schools, it's the most popular post we've ever had? And been shared, I don't know how many times, several hundred. It's just extremely popular with the community right now.
Your action has been impressive.
Mr. President, I'd like to echo that with one bit of, I won't say remorse, but just just sober reality. It was sobering when Mr. Walton became a board member and realizing that he was a classmate of my oldest child, Whitney. Now it's equally sobering to find out that our next superintendent will have also been a part of that distinguished class, but I can't be happy
I do have a message from Whitney to Ms. Stoltz.
Oh, dear.
The class of 97 is better than the class of 95, so.
Oh, so we're going down that street
Oh,
tonight.
Yeah.
really looking forward.
We'll need to stay off the record.
Now
for
we
my
have a war.
comments.
Now we have a war.
All right, well, that,
Can I?
yes,
I just
of course.
want to point out that our RHS crew has done some really good stuff along with the health department and worked to get these seniors and juniors some experiences that have not been easy to do. So they've worked to make something workable for prom. We're going to be able to have an in-person graduation. I think I'd just like to give them some credit for all of the work that they and you guys have done to make that happen for those guys. I think that's some pretty impressive stuff that not everybody else is getting the opportunity to do. So kudos to that group that's
And they're very
put that
appreciative.
together.
Yeah.
It's, anyone else think for the good of the cause? Meeting adjourned.